You may think this is a normal backpack video, but this one is a little bit different. Bluetti just sent me out their new Handsfree 1 backpack. This backpack is kind of broken up into 4 different sections, but it's hard to not start off with the big standout feature of this bag, and that's the fact that it's got a power supply built right into it. So the power station that I have is the base model version, which is a 268 watt-hour battery with a max output of 300 watts. There's also a 60-liter version compared to my 42-liter that comes with a 512 watt-hour battery with a 700 watt max output. Now we're going to get into the details of how it works within the bag once we get to that section, and of course, like, how does it actually feel to wear this thing with a power supply on the back, because I myself have done many videos on power stations. Usually ones of this size are very heavy, and I couldn't imagine throwing one of them in a backpack and walking around all day. So is it comfortable to use after weeks of use? But first, let's talk about the backpack itself. When it comes to the exterior, you have no shortage of ways you can mount things. The front, you have all these different mounting loops. You got straps and mesh pockets on the sides. You've got Velcroed and zippered smaller accessory ports on the front. You got 2 loops on the bottom that you can put like a sleeping bag, or maybe myself, a tripod on the bottom. You've even got a very creator-friendly feature of a integrated little GoPro mount right here, right on the shoulder strap, that's perfectly positioned so when you're wearing it, you can attach a GoPro, and if you're getting like, you know, POV style angles with some sort of action cam, you'll be good to go. And you've got the integrated waist straps right here, which also this one does include a nice little rain cover. This entire backpack is water resistant, so if it starts raining, you're in a bit of snow, all of the seals and everything, you're gonna be fine, good to go. But if it becomes monsoon season, all of a sudden you can throw this over top of everything. I also like that it's like bright lime green. I feel like if you're lost or something, it's a good like signal sort of thing. I don't know if that's done on purpose, but that's where my brain goes. Let's take a peek as to what I can fit in this bag. The only thing that's not on here is the tripod, which I would hang from the bottom, but the camera is currently sitting on it right now. In the front here, you got a nice little top pouch, which I usually put my cables, as well as handy dandy AirPods, just kind of a nice quick access for a charge or anything. In this middle pocket right here, I have the rest of the cables that I won't use as often. This is in the 𝗖𝗛𝗘𝗖𝗞, I forget what they call it, but just a nice little cable pouch that fits perfectly in here. On the bottom here, I actually have my mobile gimbal. This is the Insta360 Flow, but there's a lot of space in little pockets if you like pens or other little cables and such. All right, so now laying it down, we open up the second section here. On the front, we got some more zipper pockets for cables and such. And then in here, I've packed, this is about 2 days worth of clothes for me. You can probably squeeze about a solid 3 days worth of clothes. You can see that the zippers extend to come out across the bottom and give you an extra, it says it's pretty solid 4 inches or 3 or 4 inches. So I'm actually really happy with that amount of space, because my other backpacks, I'm usually making kind of a decision one way or the other. Like, do I want camera gear? Do I want clothes? Most of the time the answer is camera gear, but then I'm like trying to roll up and shove in clothes into all the little open spaces. And here it's nice to have kind of a dedicated section for all the clothes. And then the next compartment is the camera compartment. My 16-inch should fit in here. I know my 13-inch iPad fits with plenty of room. And then here, remember that I have the smaller version of the backpack. This is the 42-liter, there's the 60-liter version. And in here, I can fit a full Pixis body, which is really nice. A cinema lens, got some extra batteries for a monitor, a couple Pixis batteries, got a microphone, a couple mobile lights, which can be helpful if you're going camping. And then I got some audio gear up here, and I just need to throw in some attachments. But this is a pretty basic kit, but a basic cinema camera package. And so obviously you'd reconfigure this for your own liking and your own camera setup. But what's nice is we're actually not done with the camera gear. Finally, we have the back compartment, which is where the power station sits, but above the power station is a good amount of storage space. So I actually have a second camera, mirrorless camera in here with, you can fit a decent sized lens. Like, there's still plenty of room in here. I can throw this camera's chargers. I don't know if you can actually see down in there, but there is plenty of room in here if I wanted to store even more stuff. So this is nice to be able to just set the backpack down, open it up, and have a camera ready to go. So This is kind of my camera setup. Like I said, it's way more comfortable than I first imagined it would be. They really take full advantage of all the space that you could possibly have in this bag. And by having the power station be at the closest to your back section of the backpack, this is going to make the biggest difference when it comes to probably the most important question you have about this bag, and that is weight distribution. The hands-free version that I have, I believe the power station is around 9 pounds. Now, I'll be honest, I was very skeptical as to how this would feel once I put it on, but even after a couple of hours of walking around with the bag on, it was very comfortable. You really don't feel it as much as you think you would. And as someone who likes to go out and film for long periods of time, take a look at this rough estimate chart so you can see roughly how many accessories and cameras and laptops you can charge, how many times with this specific power station. And you'll see that it's so much more efficient than having a bunch of different battery banks that can become kind of a hassle to remember to charge and find different spots in the backpack for. Like, this bag is literally made for you to go out, film, photograph, create a bunch of content, and keep all your items charged at once. The waist straps definitely help when it comes to the weight distribution. I will say my literal only piece of feedback in terms of how this bag is made is that I usually remove those waist straps, so I would love for it to be a removable option. But if the reason that they don't want them removable is because it really helps make the backpack feel that much better and not destroy your back, then I get why they are there as a permanent solution. So Bluetti actually sent me another really cool accessory that goes very well with any of their other power station, and that is actually this handy dandy little car charger right here. If you want this thing charged up fast, you don't want to wait around for solar panels and everything, but you're in a remote location, as long as you have your car that you can turn on, you can actually hook this car charger up to your battery. It's got a lot of cool safety features, so you're not like overcharging and frying anything. They have an excellent installation guide, which helped me out, even if you're one of those people who doesn't love like disconnecting batteries and cables and wiring. The toughest part of this is, depending on the size of your car, just routing the cable to the front, but the actual connecting of everything is super easy, super fast. And so it's just another excellent way to get this power station charged up. I'm sure one of your next biggest questions is similar to mine, which has to do with like the heat issue. You know, these power stations kick out quite a bit of heat. They need good ventilation. And I think Bluetti really has a good design here, where on both sides you can completely flip them up. And this gives you access to the ports, of course, not only to the front side, so you can actually plug everything in and literally walk around while things are charging and cables can be exposed or not, however you please. We also have access to the back side, which is where your single AC port is going to be. And of course, so you can charge the power station. This means that when you get home, you can actually plug in the power station just like you saw in the intro of this video without having to like remove the power station from the backpack. You technically can leave it in at all times if you want to. And even when the flaps are down on the backpack on both sides, you still have these very intelligently designed covers that basically are covered from the top. So that way, if it is raining, it's not going to get into the vents and you know, like fry the power station. But air is either able to be sucked in from below or come out from below, allowing you to still have solid ventilation for this. Make sure you are only using this power station with this backpack, because every power station is going to vent differently and have its exhaust ports at different spots. And I think it should go without saying that this power station is specifically designed for this backpack and vice versa. One optional accessory you can add on to this is actually a solar panel. And while a lot of these power stations have solar panel options, this one is also unique because it actually can clamp on to the back side of the backpack. So when you are literally hiking, walking around, whatever, solar panels can be unraveled and you can be charging the power station and all your accessories as you're walking around. You don't have to, you know, find base camp, set up this big solar array, and then sit there for a couple hours while things are charging. Overall, if you're looking for a travel, hiking, camping backpack that you want to be able to fit all your creative gear and other toiletry accessories so that you can just bring one bag, I would definitely recommend taking a look at the Handsfree 1 or Handsfree 2 if you need a little bit bigger size. You can learn more about this stuff down in the description below. Huge shout out to Bluetti for sending out this stuff, sponsoring this video. If you guys have any other questions, let me know down in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one.